Have you ever felt like your mind is just on autopilot? One minute you're perfectly fine, and the next you're hit with a wave of anger or sadness or this intense craving, and it all just happens in a flash. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the actual mechanics of our own minds. We're going to figure out why we suffer and, more importantly, how we can start to take the controls back.
I mean, really think about it. Someone cuts you off in traffic and bam, that flash of anger is right there. It feels instantaneous. Or you get a compliment and that little warmth of pleasure just washes over you. It's like a switch gets flipped, right? So why does it feel so completely out of our hands? So automatic? That's the big question we're diving into. Let's use a super simple example we can all relate to. You take a bite of your favorite dessert. It's amazing. That sensation is followed in less than a split second by the thought, I need more of that. It's this lightning-fast chain reaction, so quick that we don't even see the separate links in the chain, but it's right there in those hidden steps that all of our trouble really begins. So to get this, we need a new way of looking at things. See, our mental process isn't just one big single event. It's actually a two-step process. There's this tiny, almost invisible moment between a trigger and a reaction, and spotting that gap, well, that's the key to everything. Okay, so let's meet part one of the process, what the source material calls the front mind. When your senses make contact with anything in the world, a sound hits your ear, light hits your eye, the front mind just registers it. It's like a camera taking a picture with no filter. It's just raw data, a sound, a color, a feeling of pressure, that's it. And this part is absolutely crucial. At this stage, there's no suffering. It's just neutral information. But right on the heels of the front mind comes the back mind. And this is where all the drama happens. The back mind is the great interpreter. It takes that pure, raw data and instantly slaps a label on it. It adds the story. So that neutral sound, it becomes an annoying barking dog. That simple physical sensation, it becomes horrible, unbearable pain. This is the part of our mind that judges everything. Look at how cleanly this breaks down. The front mind perceives raw data, just a sound, a shape, a feeling. Then, like clockwork, the back mind jumps in and interprets it. That's a dog. That's ugly. This is my pain. Every single ounce of our suffering starts right there, in that second step. It is never the raw sensation that's the problem. It's the judgment the back mind tacks onto it. And once that judgment from the back mind is there, it kicks off a totally predictable chain reaction. It's like a row of dominoes tipping over, and it almost always leads us straight into craving or anger or anxiety. Let's actually trace that path. So let's go back to that delicious meal. First, there's contact. The food hits your tongue. Then perception from the front mind, which just registers a raw sensation, maybe sweetness. Almost instantly, the back mind screams, this is the best thing ever. And what comes right after that judgment? Craving. That feeling of, I want another bite, I need more of this feeling. And just like that, a simple, neutral sensation gets hijacked and turned into an urgent demand. So this is the whole point right here. The pain you feel when you stub your toe isn't just the raw nerve signal. The suffering comes from the back mind's running commentary. Ow, that's awful. It's throbbing. This is my pain and I can't stand it. The source of our suffering isn't the event itself. It's our mind's instant, automatic story about the event. Okay, so if this whole thing is so fast and automatic, what on earth can we do? Are we just stuck? Well, no. This is where mindfulness comes in. But we need to stop thinking about it as just a way to relax. It's actually a precision tool designed for one specific job, to hit the pause button on this chain reaction. Now here's a distinction that honestly changes the entire game. We hear the word mindfulness thrown around all the time, but it turns out there are two very different kinds, and knowing the difference is absolutely key. On one hand, you've got what's called worldly mindfulness. This is about focusing your attention on one thing, like being careful when you cross the street or concentrating on your breath, and is really useful. It can temporarily pause the chain reaction. But then you have insight mindfulness. This goes a level deeper. It doesn't focus on an object, it focuses on the process itself. The goal isn't just to pause the reaction, but to see and understand the whole mechanism of the front mind and back mind working together. This is what the real practice is all about. Insight mindfulness is about developing the skill to see that tiny, tiny gap. It's about learning to catch the raw sensation from the front mind before the back mind grabs it, slaps a label on it, and kicks off the whole chain of suffering. You actually start to see the process unfold in real time.
And once you start to see this mechanism, everything changes. You can begin to step out of those deeply worn grooves of habit. You can go from being a puppet jerked around by your automatic reactions to actually choosing how you want to respond to the world with real awareness. So, the path to freedom isn't about trying to force your mind to be empty or blank. That's not the goal at all. It's about becoming a curious scientist of your own mind, just watching how it works. And that understanding, that seeing, is what sets you free. It creates that precious bit of space between a trigger and a reaction. And in that space, that's where your power to choose lives. If you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. The world is always going to send sensations our way. Good, bad, and neutral. That's a given. But the suffering we feel isn't caused by the sensation. It's caused by the story our back mind instantly and automatically tells us about it.
So, I'll leave you with a little challenge. As you go about your day today, just try to be a story spotter. When a strong feeling pops up, ask yourself, okay, what was the raw sensation? And what's the story my mind is telling me about it right now? Just watch. So what's one story your mind is going to tell you today?